A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. If you do build a great experience, customers will tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. We see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the host. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. The human brain is an incredible pattern matching machine. If you don't understand the details of your business, you are going to fail. I believe you have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. There are two ways to extend a business. Take inventory of what you're good at and extend out from your skills. Or determine what your customers need and work backward. And if it requires learning new skills, Kindle is an example of working backward. You don't want to negotiate the price of simple things you buy every day. Great industries are never made from single companies. There is room and space for a lot of winners. If your customer base is aging with you, then eventually you are going to become obsolete or irrelevant. You need to be constantly figuring out who are your new customers and what are you doing to stay forever young. The thing that motivates me is a very common form of motivation, and that is, with other folks counting on me, it's so easy to be motivated. My view is there's no bad time to innovate. I strongly believe that missionaries make better products. They care more. For a missionary, it's not just about the business. There has to be a business, and the business has to make sense. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you have something meaningful that motivates you. It is very difficult to get people to focus on the most important things when you're in boom times. A company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny, because shiny doesn't last. No matter what your mission is, have some notion in your head. Forget the model, whether it's government or nonprofit or profit. Ask yourself the more important question. Is my mission improving the world? Are you sure about it? Seek to disconfirm that all the time. And if you can, change your mission. Beautiful speech doesn't need protection. It's ugly speech that needs protection. We have these cultural norms that allow people to say really ugly things. You don't have to invite them to your dinner party, but you should let them say it. I don't think that you can invent on behalf of customers unless you're willing to think long term, because a lot of invention doesn't work. If you're going to invent, it means you're going to experiment. And if you're going to experiment, you're going to fail. And if you're going to fail, you have to think long term. If you only do things where you know the answer in advance, your company goes away. I read The High Frontier in high school. I read it multiple times, and I was already primed. As soon as I read it, it made sense to me. It seemed very clear that planetary surfaces were not the right place for expanding civilization inside our solar system. Of course, humans like to explore, and we should. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's more than that. It's essential for your children and your children's children. Humans are unbelievably data efficient. You don't have to drive 1 million miles to drive a car. But the way we teach a self-driving car is have it drive 1 million miles. The killer app that got the world ready for appliance was the light bulb. So the light bulb is what wired the world. And they weren't thinking about appliances when they wired the world. They were really thinking about, they weren't putting electricity into the home. They were putting lighting into the home. The special ops guys and the firefighters around the world have this great phrase. They say, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. And that is true. Everything I've accomplished in my life has been because of that attitude. You cannot make a giant space company in your dorm room. Not today. And the reason is that the heavy lifting infrastructure isn't in place. One thing that I find very unmotivating is the kind of Plan B argument. When Earth gets destroyed, you want to be somewhere else. That doesn't work for me. We have sent robotic probes now to every place in the solar system. And this is the best one. The question really is, are you improving the world? And you can do that in many models. You can do that in government. You can do that in nonprofit. And you can do it in commercial enterprise. But there's so much kludge, so much terrible stuff. We are at the 1908 Hurley washing machine stage with the internet. That's where we are. We don't get our hair caught in it. But that's the level of primitiveness of where we are. We're in 1908. There'll always be serendipity involved in discovery.